We stayed at a dog story, a dog resort, when we traveled to Rikholi, Mussoorie with Cross and Mishka. Let's talk about it. A dog story in Rikholi is situated about 280 km from Delhi, somewhere between Dehradun and Mussoorie. And it took us about 6 hours to reach our destination, including the breakfast halt. We spent 4 days there during the 3rd week of April. We had checked the weather forecast in advance, sunny with some cloud cast and temperature ranging between 16 and 30 degrees Celsius. And we had a very good reason for doing this. To know why, keep watching this video. We had an easy experience reserving a room by contacting them directly. Their team is available via call or email in case you have additional questions. We had a few because of Cross, our 14-year-old senior dog, concerns actually, and their team was extremely patient and helpful in answering those questions. As an alternative, you could make a reservation from their website directly or through booking.com. A dog story is surrounded by the hills, a serene location with a large exploratory space for your dogs, a natural stream, and a beautiful garden by the property. There's a large parking space for those of you traveling by car as well. Downhill from the parking space is the exploratory area we talked about. It has an amazing view of the hills. This also happens to be the only area in the property where your dogs can relieve themselves, with the rest of the space having a strict no pee-poo rule, and understandably so. It's a beautiful property and we should do our part in keeping it that way. There's a natural stream a little way down from the exploratory area as well, and a good place for a short hike with your dog in case they are comfortable with the challenge. But walking back to the property, there are 3 rooms of different sizes, with each room having an outdoor seating area with a dining table. We happened to book Sal, the smallest of the 3 rooms. We had a lot of space though, despite us traveling with 2 of our dogs. Inside the room there was a double bed, a 2-seater dining table, a kettle with a collection of teas, and a nice cupboard with a mirror. Also, remember when we mentioned that we had checked the weather forecast in advance before even making the booking? That's because the rooms in A Dog Story in Mussoorie do not have air conditioning. Cross struggles with heat, and we had spoken to their team about a possible arrangement for a pedestal fan in case it became too hot. But thankfully we never needed one, and it was quite pleasant inside the room even through the noon. The resort provides basic toiletries as well, from liquid hand washes to body wash and shampoo. You can also check with their staff for an iron and ironing board should you need it. Do make sure to check the guest book. It has everything that you might want to know about the resort, including their in-house menu. And that brings us to the food. We loved the food so much so that we even told the chef that we would miss him when we returned home. Breakfast included an assortment of fruits, a hot or cold beverage, a small bowl of cereal, and an option from the Indian and continental varieties. For lunch and dinner, they have the tiffin meal system, which includes rice, dal, a dry sabzi, roti, salad, and an option from the different vegetarian and non-vegetarian curries on the menu. They also have a good collection of sandwiches. There's also a Wags menu for dogs, but we stuck with only boiled rice and chicken because Mishka is a picky eater. But we would definitely recommend you guys checking it out once. But what about the staff? Because service is crucial to a complete experience anywhere. As far as we understood, there were about 3 to 4 people on staff. However, Mr. Manish and Mr. Manoj interact with the guests the most, and we had a lovely experience with them. They made sure that we were all very comfortable throughout our stay, and Mishka always looked forward to meeting them. We may have not clarified this already, but it was not a sponsored stay, nor is this a sponsored review or video. It is straight from the heart of 2 dog parents and their kids. Also, if you're enjoying this video, then a sub to this channel would be superb. Let's get back to the video. We mostly relaxed all 4 days. Our routine included several walks and runs to the exploratory space between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. and a few treks here and there as well. We wouldn't recommend wandering out too late into the night. Safety comes first. But our goal was for this to be a vacation for our dogs. And the smells, the views, the new experiences, and the openness even. It rejuvenated Cross so much. He was running and barking despite his age. In fact, we had to stop him from overdoing things. And Mishka was thrilled as well. You know, it was a perfect trip for them. But if you want to get away for a few moments, the Mussoorie Mall Road is a mere 40-minute drive from the resort. In fact, I got a human cake to celebrate Cross's 14th birthday, which the humans ate, of course, while our kids watched. We didn't move out of the resort with our kids to avoid exerting Cross, but you could definitely plan a short trip to Dehradun or a few other places near the property. You'll find more details on their website. Our only issue with the place was the poor network reception. Nishant and I are Airtel users and the connection is dead except for a few parts in the property, like super dead. And the resort does provide a Jio connection which works well for the most part, but not well enough for you to have a working vacation or a workation as some of you might call it. To conclude, a dog story is one of those rare places in India where you feel free and comfortable to be with your dogs. They understand that dogs cannot be expected to behave in a human manner. If Cross wanted to bark at sheep, he could. If Mishka wanted to run up and down the corridor, she could. You're not judged, you're not questioned, you're not met with the stares of the so-called sophisticates who tell you, you can't go there, you can't go here. A dog story is a human-friendly dog resort. But more than that, it's a home away from home for your dogs. Yes, for your dogs, your kids. And that's about it. If you want to know the 10 things we considered in planning this trip with our dogs, that video is here. And if you want to check out a quick video on how we chose the perfect car for our trip, that video is here. I'm Kamna. This is a Paw 5. See you next time.